Evening, guys. Welcome to tonight's Hangout in the Group. As you may have guessed from the title, we're going to be talking about March's work in progress. As you can see from the lovely panel below me, there is a couple of people that don't usually join us on a Wednesday, but we've invited them along. So we've got the lovely Medusa.
Hi.
And we've also got the Disturbed one.
Hello.
And as usual, we have the BP Prof, Larry. Say hello, Larry.
Hello, everybody. Sorry about my camera today.
And myself, Earth. So, should we get right on with it, Larry?
Let's get right on with it. Okay, so today we're going to go through the March WIP. There was a lot in there, and so let's get right to it. A few bug fixes and changes this week. One, if you've been playing, you noticed that the dock layout changed a little bit. They spaced them out a little more, and I think that's to accommodate a change that we'll be talking about in the WIP, this new defense fleet slot. They fixed an issue with the ship pathing AI that could result in ships stopping short of killing a target before moving on to the next. I think a lot of people were complaining about this one.
Yeah,
I've had it happen.
it's exceptionally bad in track uranium bases.
So have you noticed it fixed?
I haven't really hit enough to say that it's definitely fixed, but it does seem better than what I have done.
And then the last item on this slide here is based on your feedback. We will be leaving the Forsaken Arena free. So they made these changes, I think it was last week, and I guess they're going to stick with them.
I still haven't used it.
Yeah, me neither.
Me neither.
I don't touch it because it's just spending time in queue.
Yeah, I've heard that complaint from a lot of people that there's still long time to wait to get a match.
I tried it the other day. After 10 minutes, I was, screw this. I went off and started sniping fleets.
You're a bad person.
Any guesses as to which alliance he's in?
I think last night I was going after, I can't remember the name now.
There you go.
And then it's not on the slide here, but I noticed one more change today when I started the mission. It seemed like the ships and the 85 strongholds were kind of coming at me a little differently, which wasn't really a problem. It was just different. I don't know if you guys noticed that.
I actually haven't started it yet this week.
I haven't either. I have to confess that I'm getting really lazy about doing the Forsaken mission.
We've heard that. Yeah. I mean, usually I come in from the bottom left, and all the ships sort of come straight at me through the middle, through that middle gap along the torp tower. And now, sometimes they're coming around the sides and stuff like that. I mean, like I said, it isn't really a problem for me. I just noticed that it's different. So I was wondering if you guys noticed as well.
Nope.
No.
All right.
Place from you, so I think mine pretty much always come in the same direction.
Well, yeah, right. I mean, how long has this stronghold been around? I mean, it's been the same, and just this week it seems like a change. I don't know. Maybe somebody in chat noticed or didn't notice.
I might have a look in a minute.
All right. Well, I'll move on to the next slide then. Schedule. So, Choke Point Elite is over. Hopefully you got your tokens. So now we've got the regular Choke Point time-limited campaign, and that's now through March 8th, so Tuesday next week. Pretty good prizes. I think we went over this last week as well. Harrier guided missile system and Speed 4 in the first one. That's all stuff you want to use. Well, maybe not speed 4 if you have speed 5, but that's good stuff. As well as the Rhino on Price Pack 2. And then the Savage Kodiak at Mastery is maybe less universally useful. I've never built one. I don't know about you guys.
I've got 2 built for different things.
I've not built one before. I've not actually won one before. I got one tonight when I finished the first round of it. I don't know what I'm going to do with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It just comes in handy just for reload and just for the extra missile defense.
Yeah.
The flag sometimes just with like same like a HLNC in it just for the reload and the extra rad defense. Just put like a hellstorm on it and sit outside the base while you're hitting, or even if say a mission target, for example, anything there you got heavy missile defense and heavy missile damage just gives you a little bit of a helping hand.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think the Savage is a little slow for a lot of the more modern ships.
Yeah, agreed. It's something that you can't really speed match to a lot of the newer ships.
Yep.
But like I said, it does come in handy in base defense for some things, and
Hello, I've got someone in comms saying dead air. People don't know what that's about.
I mean, we all hear each other.
Yeah. No. Okay. Sorry. Carry on.
Okay.
Others can hear us.
Okay. Someone else with computer problems, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I expect.
Yeah. So, Medusa, what did you think of the choke point campaign? I saw a couple early posts that said it was pretty hard.
To be honest, I didn't think it was that hard. I just threw my fleets at it, did a few rounds before I had to repair, and then finished off the rest. Not too bad at all, and I think the prizes are awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I did it to get the Savage mostly just to see how it was, and
yeah,
it was like Choke Point Elite, except they dialed the speed back on the ships. Was the first thing I noticed. So they were back to the speed they were in Revenge Raid, where you could outrun them. And then the other change, well, there are 2 other changes. One is the missiles on the Kodiaks don't have flak evade, so they were pretty easy to shoot down with a countermeasure ship. And then the heavy cruisers are gone. So, yeah, I mean, I found it really easy. I really didn't. I think every encounter was like instant repair for me, but I didn't need any of these prizes. So, yeah.
I had no problems with it. I think it's good for a mid-range player.
Yeah, and we posted, we included that build last week of the BBA with disruptors, I think, and based on what we're seeing, I think that build could grind your way through, prize packs 1 and 2 if you just have the time to keep throwing it in there.
There's people in comms that's also saying there's a lot less speed, a lot less damage, no heavy cruisers. They're liking that. Thank you, Cubed.
Yeah, I went in number 4 with my subs, thinking I'd sub out the heavy cruiser, and I was like, no heavy cruisers. I guess I'll just keep going. So, yep. All right, Earth, Disturbed. Anything else you guys want to say about Choke Point? Guess not.
No, I mean, really, it's just that, like we said last week, really, price packs are brilliant for the lower players. Even if you have got Speed System 5, Speed System 4 is good for speed matching, so something that you still got to look at, really.
Yeah.
So, yeah. altogether, I think it's pretty good, to be honest.
Yep. Yep. I mean, if you don't have this stuff that's in the first 2 prize packs, you got to find something. I think you just have to find something to go after it.
Yeah, they are important things to have, so definitely. And yeah, you're right, they have changed the way that the ships move in the 85s.
Okay, so other people in chat are noticing too. Good. All right. Next thing on the schedule. This one was kind of buried in the WIP, and so I just wanted to bring it up here. There's going to be a preview of the new mining platform targets, and it's going to pay out increased VXP. So they didn't say how. Yeah, they didn't say how much, but they said increased. So we'll just have to wait and see, if it's going to be as much as, the Reaver bases on VXP weekend, or, somewhere in between.
20.
Yeah, right. Could be 20.
But yeah, I mean, I'm hoping that it's a bit higher, because I've actually got some time this weekend, so hopefully I can get on and do a bit and get my Punishers ranked up a bit.
Yeah, I'll have 3 of those Punishers, which are kind of designed for that kind of target, ready to go. So
yeah, it's going to be good.
Do you guys think they're still going to continue with the VXP weekend? That's a question from Clay.
I should hope so. Personally, I think it's one of the best things that's come out for a long time. I think it's probably quite profitable for them as well, because everybody hates ranking.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I can't see why it shouldn't continue.
Agreed.
And I think more of the sort of the VXP for this preview is really more to try and get people to do it. I think it's just a bonus incentive for them to preview the targets.
Yep. So it's only 24 hours, so give them a shot.
Definitely.
All right. And then Renegade, the next raid starts on March 10th. That's next week on Thursday. It's going to be the regular 4-day raid. And then, so they said, they had some storyline stuff about how Zoe and Forsaken ships taking over the Drac strongholds, blah blah blah. So on first read, I said, okay, well, we'll have the same kind of land targets, but then different ships. But then a little further on in the text, it said that the Forsaken ships are going to be the same as the ships in the previous event, but just with different skins. So it may be the case that these targets are just going to be a carbon copy of what we saw in the last raid.
That's what I'm thinking.
It's kind of the way that was written was kind of rubbish. That's really a way of sort of saying it politely, really. But it was confusing how it was written, or just plain rubbish, as I like to say.
All right.
I'd like to say something stronger, but I'm a very nice person. I don't do things like that much.
Yep. So, all right. And then we've got the prizes. We've seen pictures and a little bit of description on those. We've got the Centurion hull, which is a Forsaken siege ballistic ship. And then we've seen this particle accelerator cannon, which is a ballistic weapon that occasionally will fire splash rounds as like an override. The thing that I'm curious about is it sort of looked like it was a heavy weapon. It just had that sort of...
Well, yeah, it's something that I said on the show as well last week, that it looks to me like the Centurion's just a ballistic version of the Neptune. So I'm kind of thinking that it probably will have a heavy slot on it. But
Yeah.
we've been wrong before.
Yeah. Yeah. I really don't know. Um, was the Aura stuff on the forums?
I didn't see anything else on that really, to be honest.
Okay. All right. Um, fine. So I guess we'll see what's coming. When it shows up.
Yeah.
All right, and then the other thing I put on the schedule, a lot of the stuff in the WIP is planned to come out on March 29th. So if it's not out yet, it's probably coming out end of March. So I just wanted to throw that date out there for everybody. So let's.
Coins ready.
Yeah, fundamentally it'd be out when it's ready, and we've said it before. We'd rather them take a little longer and have stuff not be broken. So, yeah.
I think someone did make a comment about when I posted it on the BPC page that it'll be out on March the 29th, and on the 30th there'll be a hot fix.
Okay, we'll see.
Which did amuse me a little bit.
Yep. All right, so let's talk about some of the stuff in the WIP. First thing in there was siege targets. So siege targets are new types of targets. No ships, just walls, buildings, and turrets. And what we've already seen in terms of those siege targets is the Drac uranium bases, which have no ships in them, just walls, buildings, and turrets. And what we've all seen is that a different kind of fleet does well in those Drac uranium bases than the types of fleets that do well in strongholds, the types of fleets that did well in the last raid cycle. And so, a lot of players aren't ready for Drac uranium bases, so these might be a challenge for a lot of players. We'll have to see.
Yeah, I've built a specific fleet for Drac uranium bases, which works really well. But it's not really something that's. I'm quite glad that these siege targets have come out because it gives the fleet multi-use, really.
Yeah, I'm working on a fleet for Drac uranium bases, and agree. I find this very timely. So.
Yeah.
Just a quick question. What sorts of fleet would you build roughly for this? Because some people out there haven't built it yet.
Really, it's you want something that's got nice turret defense on it. So you want something with siege
battery.
Yeah.
Yep.
Siege deflection ship, something like the Punisher or the Neptune's good. Just for the raw DPS output, Punishers are awesome. Some things that people may not have thought about is the Earthshaker cannon, because it adds armor defense, speed, and the DPS on it's insane since the rebalance.
Yep.
It's the route that me and Larry have both gone down.
Yep.
And it works really well.
Okay.
So.
What I really want to do is after this VXP weekend, I'm probably going to put an article out on the blog and try and come up with a couple fleet designs. Sort of a high-end fleet design for people that have everything, and then I'm going to try and look at some lower-end designs that maybe can be built relatively quickly for people that don't have all the toys. So. That's my plan. We'll have to wait and see. The thing that's really interesting about the dubs is there's no incoming fire that evade helps you with. So this Punisher build I'm working on, doesn't have an evade special, which is probably the first time in many years literally years that I've built a ship without an evade special. And we'll see if these new targets have the same sort of weapon mix.
Okay. I have also got a question from Grumpy Robot in comms, who's asking why should the new Drac bases be associated with the sector threat if they don't pay out uranium?
Yeah, you know, I didn't get to the point where we were talking about these things. So
Sorry.
let's well no, that's fine. Let's go through these targets if that's all right, and then we'll talk about that because it's an excellent point, really. So we'll start with the Drac mining bases. So they're going to replace the regular mines, which most people don't use, right?
Yeah, well, resources are easy to get, aren't they?
Yeah.
It's not like the beginning of the game when I used to mine miners.
Yeah. So they're not going to pay out resources, but they are going to raise the sector threat from teal to yellow. And they're going to pay out base parts, and we'll talk about base parts in a little while. And then they're going to be level locked, so you're only going to be able to attack ones that are appropriate for your base level, apparently. I guess we'll see how that goes. And then subsector bases are going to change, and they're not going to pay out uranium anymore, like you mentioned. And you know, I know a few people that still hit Drac bases for uranium because they're not very good at the armadas. So that's kind of, I don't know, too bad, I guess.
It is. It's, you know, it's taking away another option for people who, you know, haven't really got fleets to hit armadas, but have got a fleet to hit Drac bases, isn't it? So, especially for like the lower level players, some of the armada targets, you know, if you look at it, it's still quite hard for them, even though you've got the lower level targets and stuff like that.
Yeah, you know, I guess the thing I'd say is that if you're really having trouble getting uranium from armadas, ask someone with subs, ask someone with tigers to take out the dreadnoughts, or in a 45 to take out the battleships. And that cuts the damage you take by a lot. You know, going from, 4 hunters and 4 dreadnoughts to just the 4 hunters and a 75. It's a big deal. You know, in a 45, the battleships are easy to take out for anybody with subs, and then you're just left with the 1 hunter.
Yeah, agreed. It makes a hell of a difference. I do it the opposite way round. When I go out, I go out and I'll crap out the hunters, and then I'll go in with subs and finish them up. But yeah, it's the way I do it. It's just weird like that.
All right.
But I figured a way out of just being able to take the hunters out on their own without anything else coming anywhere near me.
Okay. Whatever works, I guess.
Yeah.
So
you know what I'm like. I don't do anything the same as everybody else, do I?
no, I guess not.
So never mind.
Yeah. So you know, I guess, I mean, every change, right? Some people like it, some people don't, depending on how ready they are for it. I mean, I guess it's tough for me to imagine that, you know, you can do a whole Drac base with the artillery and all that for, you know, 4,000 uranium or whatever, and that beats you up more than, you know, a single 45 armada that will still pay, what, 3,000 for uranium? 4,000? What do you think?
For 35?
You compare doing a whole Drac base to doing a level 45 armada.
I've never.
It depends on the fleet and ships you have if you're that low of a level. So I know my cousin's got 3 Artemises he uses with a disruption missile, and he can take out the martyrs pretty quickly.
Yeah, yeah. Artemis aren't too common though, but I mean, interceptors would probably do about as well, right?
Yeah, if they're built right, they could do pretty well.
Yeah. You know what I mean though? I mean, you just compare, right? A level 45 Armada pays out about the same as a Drac base. You can do it a lot quicker.
Yeah,
And
it all comes down if you don't want to take damage in a Drac base, you don't have to do you. You can put a Spectre in there and use it as a detractor and
yeah,
put
all right.
on and stuff like that. Whereas you are going to take some damage doing Armadas, aren't you?
Fair enough. It's true.
And of course, if you haven't got a Proto Nemesis, you know, I mean, I'm lucky enough to have 6. You know, if you haven't got a Proto Nem, of course you can get them from the Drac bases, can't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I might even make sure that I hit them before they disappear, just so I can get 7.
You do that, Earth. You keep being different. All right. Well, anyway, so those are the siege targets. Did we answer Grumpy's question?
It's gone quiet.
Okay. Well, right. I mean, all I can say is that, you know, some people are going to miss the Drac bases for uranium, and some won't. I won't. I know one guy who will. But I'll prep 45s for him. Okay. And then again, I mentioned it again here. Preview starts a couple days. You can see the mines. I'm excited.
The XP, woohoo!
Yeah. All right. Base parts. So you collect base parts from those siege targets we just talked about. And Kixeye didn't say it, but I'm going to say it, that they behave like uranium. They're not called a resource, they're called base parts, but they behave like uranium. They're stored in your warehouses, and they have a max capacity. They are not lootable, and once you've spent them, you can't cancel for a refund. So, again, it's
exactly like uranium then.
Yep.
Except
yeah. Except spending them, I guess, is optional, right? I mean, when things cost uranium, they cost uranium. Base parts behave more like the way that you, Earth, would like uranium to behave, where you could choose to spend it to speed things up.
Well, it says it's automatically applied.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the only downside to it, I suppose.
Right. Whatever you're doing, that's what you're going to spend it on.
Yeah.
The only difference is you don't need it. It just reduces the time. Uranium, you need it no matter what.
Yep. And then this next that I didn't quite fully understand, I'll say. So you can also use base parts to refit a second building while a different building is being upgraded. So
you can basically upgrade a turret and then change out a turret. So if you're going from level 5 to 6 platform, you can also change the head on a different turret.
Yeah.
Fine.
I mean, could you always do that with gold before?
Don't know, I can't remember.
I don't know. Never coined a platform or a turret.
No.
Yeah, same here. So I you know, what I really didn't understand is just how that would work, I guess, but we'll find out. And then so one base part is 1 second. So I think the key to this whole thing is going to be, you know, how many base parts do you get for these targets? Are they going to be really worthwhile?
Yeah, because you're going to need lots.
That and how much can we hold?
Yeah, yeah.
I think in the picture it come up as like 10 days, didn't it? I think.
Yeah, it was a lot in the picture. That's the truth.
Yeah, it was 10 days taken off the build time. I'll go check it real quick.
Yeah. So the math's going to be annoying. I wish one base part would have been like an hour, so you wouldn't have to deal with 800,000 of them.
864,000 to save exactly 10 days.
Okay. So remember that number.
And judging by the look of the picture, that's about the time we're going to look for Outpost 8 because that's what they have upgrading.
Yeah. I think this is all scheduled for that March 29th date.
Yeah, so we're looking at a 20 plus day outpost upgrade.
Yep.
To be able to upgrade to level 7 turrets. I've only got 6 level 6 turrets. So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's move on to. Oh wait. Base defense. I was gonna say let's move on to Outpost 8, but I got one more slide before that, and I like this slide because I think it's funny. See, there's I'm going to explain it though, okay, just in case you don't get it. So there's 2 changes to be implemented to reduce the effect of getting smashed. Now, these 2 ladies both got smashed, but see, one of them got drawn on with markers. The other one only had markers thrown at her, so that's like a reduced effect when she got smashed.
You have a weird mind.
Yes. Thank you.
I'll touch that one.
Ooh. Hey, watch your mic there, Disturbed. Something's weird going on. So anyway, 2 changes are coming up that will reduce the effect of getting your base smashed. And the first one is a direct thing coming out of these town hall meetings I've been participating in. So it's good we're seeing something. And that is the dock begins auto-repairing immediately after you're hit.
Finally.
Nice.
Okay. So I'll give you a little more insight on how that conversation went. One of the things we talked about was the fact that a major pain point for players was, you go to work all day, you come home, you sit down in front of your computer, you want to play Battle Pirates, and you sit down and your base is smashed. And so at that point, your choice is spend money or click repair and go do something else. And, in a sense, that doesn't benefit Kixeye either. They really do want you to play. So there's that, and so somebody said, well, why don't you just make the dock repair instantly? But the counter to that was we did want some kind of penalty or loss if you lose your base, and if you're in the middle of a war and things are going back and forth and somebody hits your base and takes it out in the middle of a fight, well, now you are out unless you want to pay to play. So when we brought this idea up, it seemed like a nice kind of balance between the two, that there's still a penalty for losing your base, but at least a lot of the time you come home after working all day or doing whatever you do all day that's not Battle Pirates, and you sit down and you can play. So I think it's good. And I was wondering if some of the guys like Irv or some of these big guys would not like it, say it's too easy, but
it's not that. I'm to be honest, most of my problem with it is that I tend to piss quite a lot of people off in the game, and I tend to get a lot of rockets dropped on my dock. So
Yeah.
I kind of would have liked it to have been kind of instant repair. But yeah, but I agree 100% with it. I think it's a brilliant idea. There's been many a time when I've got home and someone's dropped fucking rockets on my dock and my launch pad and stuff like that. And it's like, oh, can I be asked to spend the 6 coins and can I be asked to wait it out? And it's just kind of like, no, I'll go and do something else. So it does definitely make a difference to the amount of times that you play and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Especially if I get home from work and I've been out on a long shift or there's been a big storm on and stuff like that, and I get in and all I want to do is sit down and just, do a couple of Forsaken mission targets or something like that, and I get in and my dock's down and I'm like, oh, I can't be bothered.
Yeah.
Go do something else. Go play World Warships usually.
Yep.
So yeah, it's definitely a good thing.
Good. I hope everybody likes it.
So the next one I like a lot more.
Yeah, so defense fleet slot. So now we are going to get a dedicated slot that has half repair. And they said it doesn't stack with event repair. You have to have your ship be full health in order to put them in the slot. So you won't be able to take a slot and take a dead fleet and throw it in there and repair it half-time and then move it back out. They're trying to prevent exploits. Hopefully nobody comes up with one. But yeah, the idea is that your guard should be able to repair it half-time.
Yeah, it's cool. I like this idea a lot. I have to say that Chris, who's on the panel today, Disturbed One, did make a forum post about both of these things quite a while back, in the same thing, and exactly the same setup for the defense fleet slot was what he'd mentioned on the forum. So
Okay.
well done, Chris.
Thank you.
Speak up. Yeah, take some credit, man.
Nice.
All right. Moving on from the smashed ladies to not smashed ladies. So Outpost 8. We were all asking for Outpost 8, weren't we?
Yeah, of course we were, because we've only just had Outpost 7.
It seemed a little soon.
It's too quick, I think, personally. Especially with having a new turret level as well. I can understand why they want to do it, but especially now with the cold snap has swung base defense in another direction again. Much like when the Wendigo first came out and there wasn't a frostburn. It's sort of turned everything a bit OP. Especially with some of the new specials that are available from Drac bases and stuff like that. So I don't know. It's just for me. And obviously with all the new turrets doing 105 range.
Yeah.
It's kind of making things a bit more. I thought that there was quite a good balance, really, to be honest, and I think that the trouble is that they try to tip the scales and try and balance space defense with attacking fleets, and they always go too far, I think, and I don't think this is going to really help it at the minute.
So the thing that I'd like to see, but I'm yet worried about, is the fact is that any halfway decent fleet, when it gets in range of a turret, the turret is dead just about instantly. Even with a level 6 platform, even with permacrete, even with, and I even tried stacking a few combined defense fields behind a turret to see if I could get it to last longer. It still didn't work very well. So it would be cool to see a turret where you actually have to stop again, but then I'm worried that a turret with that much health or that much defense is going to be really hard to kill for all but the very high-end players.
Agreed, and I think that's really what I was kind of trying to get at as well. You know, with the new weaponry that's out that deals a lot of damage and at range, so obviously it outranges the fleet. You know, I think they're still quite powerful now, and they do a lot of damage to everything that hasn't got deflection on it. So it's kind of overpowered in a way to older fleets. Like it's like when the antipode launcher came out, and if you didn't have unreactive stuff, you were getting smashed the fuck out of in bases. It's kind of a bit like that, really, in a way. And I think with having a turret that you could put, for example, the new Basilisk turrets on, that's going to last for a little while, so they can get a couple of salvos off before you can kill it. You know, you could stack a load of them up and you wouldn't even get halfway in the base. It wouldn't even matter about your base defense fleet.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's kind of odd. I'm sort of split two ways on it, I think.
Yeah. I guess the point is nobody's. This wasn't something we were clamoring for, so we'll just have to see what happens.
I mean, if of course, you know, the new turret level 7 comes in and it's only 2 days to upgrade it, and then it puts down the 1 day upgrade to a level 6 turret, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
Somehow I don't think that's going to happen.
No. Now there are some other turret changes they talked about with this, so let's move on. Okay, so first of all, they're going to introduce the launch pad rocket countermeasure turret that covers a small area and has a chance to shoot down incoming launch pad rockets, and it's researchable. So that's something.
Yeah,
Anybody else find Kate sucking on a popsicle really distracting? I mean, I picked this picture and I find it distracting.
It's somewhat distracting.
Yeah. Wow. I like Kate Upton. Sorry, launchpad turret. What do you think? Would you use it?
Yeah, I'm going to use it to cover my dock and my launch pad.
But it's only got a chance. What if you devote one of your turrets to it and it doesn't work?
Agreed.
Perhaps.
I mean, it depends on the stats. If they're good enough, like if it's a 75% chance to shoot down a rocket, I'll use it.
I mean, if it's 50%, it's just going to take 2 rockets, right?
Well, yeah. But it doesn't matter because you can spam 7 rockets before you go.
Right. So
what's the point of really?
Right.
Oh, also, I've been watching a guy in our sector from Endenham. He uses an Enforcer and Citadel fleet to take out Hellstar bases, but the only thing that stops him is a Wendigo turret. So use it to cover a critical turret, it'll help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he's got like a ton of Gales from that fleet. That's an awesome fleet. I do like it a lot.
Yeah.
I've knocked up pretty much a copy of it in Huggies, and I'll show you afterwards, Larry.
All right.
It's pretty cool.
All right. Well, I don't know. I guess we'll see how good this is.
See, this is what pisses me off. Reduced OP1 to 7 upgrade time and cost. Now that some people have only just finished it as well.
You know what? They can't reduce times and costs without saying sorry to everybody who's already done it. So I'll let that one go.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, if they couldn't do that, then they could never do that. So
Yeah.
just suck it up, Prof. I'm not going to have any sympathy for you.
I'm not saying me. No. I had it the first day it come out. I'm just saying some people might have only just literally done it.
My cousin just started his level 7 upgrade.
Yeah, so feel sorry for them.
Might be worth canceling in that event.
It depends on the build time, because if this comes out on the 29th, I believe, his will already be done.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and maybe they're only going to knock off a couple days, so
Yeah.
you don't know. All right. How long was Outpost 7? Do you remember? Do you know?
About 3 seconds. Click. Ding.
Yeah, how much gold, Earth?
I didn't even look.
All right. Thank you
I
for.
know I'm a bad man.
You know what? Thank you for supporting Kix I guess. Whatever.
I think it was around 2 weeks.
I think so. Thank you, Medusa. That's much more helpful. Okay. And then we've got this other thing with turrets. So, I don't know. This wasn't super clear. Maybe it isn't super set in stone yet. All this stuff is proposed, actually. But so it seems that when you get to your max turret level now, you might get an extra slot that you can put something in. And if you put a defensive something in that slot, then you will also get a buff to all your defense. And if you put an offensive something in that slot, you will get a buff to your damage and or your range. And it's all very still unclear. You know, is that special something going to be just, you know, the specials we already have? Or is there going to be a whole new set of stuff that we can put in this new slot?
It's interesting. I think it's going to be interesting. Again, I'm worried that some of the newer turrets are going to be a bit too OP, especially if they add damage to like something like the basilisk. The range as well for like some of the long range turrets would be good. I think because they are slightly too short, and with the new sort of land layouts and stuff like that, quite get the most out of them. So that would be interesting, especially for like apox and stuff like that. Yeah. It'd be interesting to see how it all sort of slots in, really.
Yep.
The defensive side of things, I don't know. Still, it's a bit. Yeah.
Right. You know, again, 3 combined defense at 25% extra defense each still don't make my Drax scattergun last very much longer. So,
I didn't even bother putting any armor on mine. I've just left mine. I just didn't see the point in it, really, because it's only going to get one shot off, so I've just left it.
Yeah. All right. Anything else on the new Outpost or new stuff with it, guys?
Can we have that?
Nope.
All I want to say is, you know, I don't know, somewhere around about sort of March the 30th, we have that campaign back again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Grumpy says range boost for the Wendigo would be nice.
I
have to agree with that.
Yeah, agreed.
Okay, as well as turrets being OP, what about the fleets we're currently building? They'll be obsolete. Well, we all know where that's going.
You know, it's interesting. Kixeye did a really good thing with the weapon rebalance, I think, in that, you know.
And now they're kicking the shit out of it.
well, they haven't yet, right?
No.
Because the symptom of that is like, you know, the railgun. The fact that the railgun just wasn't. I mean, it's usable, but it's really not much better than a lot of other stuff we have. And if they stick to their philosophy there, this is what you're going to see going forward with all the new weapons. They're not going to be, you know, amazing new. Oh, you got to get the newest weapon, or else you're left in the dust. But it makes things a little bit trickier on the other side now, right? Because if they pull in this Outpost 8 and all this new defensive stuff, are you going to need a new weapon that's a lot more powerful than the weapons we've got to crack bases?
This is what I'm kind of worried about, really, with it.
Yep.
Because of all of these changes, if you add them all together, it's making bases, you know, a lot harder to crack. And, you know, if they're a lot harder to crack, that means more damage, which means more coin or more time down, doesn't it? At the end of the day.
Yep.
I mean, we've already seen it with the cold snap, how much difference that makes. You know, the fleets that we've built, we've purposely built them hitting bases. You know, we've put the Aegis in there. It's kind of leveled it out with some of the newer technology that's been out and available to you to, you know, defend your base with. And the cold snaps just completely kick the crap out of it and make damage just insane, really.
Yeah, I've fallen foul of those myself a few times.
Yeah.
I did manage to smash a base with 7 of them in there. And a
What?
7 of them and a Hellstar in it.
Of course.
Seems legit.
You've seen that as well, haven't you? That place? There's
Yeah.
7 of those and 7 scatterguns.
Great. All right. All right. Well, moving on from Outpost, new Forsaken mission content, because you know, if just in case Outpost 8 wasn't enough for you to look forward to, we have 5 new things that have been announced for after the raid. So we've got
Tokens.
What was that?
Said fuck you tokens.
Well, you know what I'm wondering, right? Because usually we've gotten 3 new things, and we've had 4 weeks start to start between raids, right? So you've got 3 Forsaken missions to get 3 things, and if you're doing them twice, then you can get 3 sets of tokens. Now, so if it's 4 weeks start to start, if you don't do it twice, then you're going to be falling behind. And if they do 5 weeks start to start, then you're going to have to do it twice just to have a shot at this fallback turret, which I guess is okay. But, you know, again, that's what I'm hoping, is that there's going to be an extra week between Renegade and whatever the next event is.
Are we thinking that this glacial launcher turret might be an upgraded Wendigo?
That was my thoughts.
Yeah.
I need it.
Yeah, so do I.
So the cryo battery, though, if you look at that special, right? Chance of firing projectile that creates a cryo field. So this is going to turn any guard ship into a Wendigo. Uh-huh.
Yeah. Agreed.
And then, you know, you got the D5X there, which will be like the new D5M, except explosive. Might be good for these new, you know, siege targets.
Yeah.
And then frontline countermeasure system, same thing. Ship special that gives you turret defense and improved countermeasures. Same story, probably really good for these siege targets.
That's my thoughts on it.
Agreed. I think it's something that's definitely going to help with that. Just
Yeah.
looking at the way that it's all sort of coming out.
Yeah. Yeah. And then we got this other thing, this Chromium overlay. For those of you who are getting subs running through your base, firing Cobras, this might help. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. All I do is just don't put any walls. All of the stuff that's up front, don't put any walls in front of it. That's what I do. And then they have to commit. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody goes, "Why have you not got any walls when you remove your turrets at the front?" And I think that's why.
Hmm.
And they're all stacked up in nice big patches, so that when they come through with Cobras, they take out big chunks of stuff.
Yeah.
Which is over 25%. So that's just a little tip for those of you that are having problems.
Yeah. All right. So that's about it for the new Forsaken content, and I think that's it for our stuff. So this week's screw up. I think we were kind of apprehensive about Outpost 8 as well, but this flood of content in the Forsaken mission is probably another thing that we're not really asking for, right?
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
I thought that less was the new more. Obviously not. We've swung back the other way again, haven't we?
Yeah.
You know, not that obviously some of the stuff that's in there is going to help out with the new targets, but it's still a bit of content overload.
Yeah, it feels like it. We'll just have to see. All right. Any other screw ups?
Not really.
What about all the graphical glitches that people are getting these days?
Oh yeah, all my land disappeared.
Yeah, I put that in last week or the week before.
Tufts of grass in your base. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's getting worse.
It is getting worse. Yeah, you're right.
I noticed it. Just a couple weeks ago, I started to notice it, and now it's just more and more.
Yeah, I hit a base earlier on, and I was like, right, yeah. So, hang on a minute. Where are all my ships? They're just a big white square, and all you could see was the weapons on them.
I found the SCXs in the weekly. They were just white squares with little weapons on them coming at me. Yeah.
That's not very good for trying to move your fleet and trying to kite them, but
yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
that seems to be happening more and more, especially in bases as well. Base hits, especially if they're online as well.
Also, finding there's a lot of latency going into bases, and I keep getting snagged. You should be able to hit, when you're coming from a distance into a base, and it's not my computer because nothing's changed on it. I've not installed anything. But when I go into a base, it's taking up to 5 seconds to get into a base, which of course is quite a long time for somebody to come along and just snipe you. I found that's happening a lot lately as well.
Yeah, and the long trip home is back.
Oh, really?
It's back.
Oof.
So now if you get caught by a tower, you get the long trip home.
Not heard about that one.
Yeah. So that's back. Yeah.
I have noticed a little more lag. I notice it most when actually launching fleets. Sometimes I'll just get stuck trying to launch out of my base, and it just takes forever, or even I just have to reload.
Yeah, I get that. The spinning.
Yep. Huh.
Yeah, just the kit silo in screen.
They're cutting back on bandwidth or something, I don't know.
No, I
All
hate it.
right.
As I might have mentioned before, I piss a lot of people off, so a lot of people piss me off when I fucking can't get out and move my fleets.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Enough screw ups. Unless we have any others.
No, I think that's us.
It's enough. All right. And then this last one was kind of interesting, a little different. They right in the WIP they put the date and time that they're going to open up the preview server for the raid. It seemed like before, they certain lucky people get the password to get into the preview server and blah blah blah, and now they announced it in the WIP, so we'll see. Is that going to be open to everybody? Are they just going to put it out there? And
Well, yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be limited spaces, isn't it? But I think it's going to be on a first come, first served basis, I would have thought. But it's good to see that they are, well, hopefully, at least, are going to open it up to everybody and give everybody an equal opportunity to get in. So, kind of keep your eyes peeled on the forum for the post about it, I suppose.
yeah, yeah. If you didn't catch that date and time, I don't recall it off the top of my head, but it's in the forum post about the March WIP. So go look it up if you're really interested. I think it was sometime on Friday.
Hold on, I'm looking at it now.
Thank you.
Friday, 10 a.m. PST.
Okay. So same time as the start of that VXP event.
Yeah, it's all to do with that, and it's all previews, preview server, and that's all the same time, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Friday, March 4th.
Okay. So there's that.
Yeah, there we go. Is there any questions from chat?
Yep. I can go back to the Kate Upton picture since you can't see my face. I'll push up. I was looking for something related to rockets, and there she was.
Grumpy Robot, I'm having to dismiss my expired road crews twice, sometimes now as well. Yep, that's been happening to me for a couple of times.
It's happened to me too.
My walls are randomly rearranged by base planner. There you go.
Yeah, mine have as well. I put all of my level 7s in a row, and then all of my level 6s in a row, just sort of there because I had them. I haven't upgraded them yet. And yes, I have the same issue. I have little dots within my level 7 walls. And, it pisses me off because I'm a bit anal about it.
Okay, that was from James. Thank you. Any more questions?
Will new deflection arm be useful on Dragax? Most of the Dragax ability, well, obviously it gives you the extra 50% or 10, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, except that doesn't apply to the deflection armor.
No, but it will help you with your explosive defense. But to be honest, I think mostly the best way of fitting out Dragax is with all of aid armor, really.
Yeah.
Mine are pretty useless.
What was that?
I was going to say mine are pretty useless now. Mine's all evade, about 80%, but they're pretty useless now. So.
Right, and so what I was thinking is that if that's the best you've got, right? If you don't have a ship with deflection, that's your next best option.
True.
And so going to evade is one way, but now with these new targets, maybe going with like a lot of D5X will be something else you could do that's useful. You get 100, 160 deflection, and lots of.
It's something that you're gonna have to look into, really. I think.
The tricky part, I think, with using that would be
I'm trying not to talk, so I'm trying to keep looking at your picture.
I'm looking in another direction. I just can't handle it. So but see, now you mentioned her, and so it's like the sun. You can't help but stare at it. So the problem, I think, with using the whole tank and remote targeting ship, is kind of what people were running into in the last raid. Is it's really tough to spread the tank out enough so that your other ships don't get splashed.
Yeah.
That was a real challenge during the last raid. I expect it to be a challenge again during this one. And if you're going to try to use a Jugex to tank against these kind of explosive splash targets, it's going to be tricky to get right.
I'm just hoping that the 101s will be the same. That'd be nice.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I agree. I'm not banking on it.
Yeah. 25 minutes damage ain't bad. For 3 minutes.
Yeah.
I managed to get it down to about instant repair in the end, but when I first started I was getting like 25 minutes damage. Swapped a couple of ships out and managed to get it down to instant repair, which is quite nice.
I think I was around an hour. It was actually started going up towards the end of the raid, but I don't know.
It's probably getting tired, I expect.
Yeah. I'm not going to throw any accusations around.
And don't forget, of course, the reset on the alliance points as well.
No, it wasn't that far in.
TAD 28650, scratch and sniff picks next week, please, Larry.
I don't think YouTube supports scratch and sniff technology. Sorry, guys.
Grumpy Robot says you have to coin to get the scratch and sniff picture.
You'll have to get your own VR rigs for that kind of thing, and I don't want to go there. Y'all are on your own there.
Rum Runner is asking, is there any good ideas on a Gamma Behemoth build?
Shockwave plating is a good idea because a lot of people launcher them out. And I ran into one the other day that I saw take a full hit from 5 launcher tiger sharks, and it didn't do that much damage to it.
Agreed. That's something that's definitely worth looking at. I'm actually going to be looking at a build because I'm coming up to getting my Gamma now, my first one. So I'm going to actually be looking at putting a build together over the weekend. So hopefully I should be able to post a build up on the BBC page. It's something that I haven't actually managed to have a look at yet. I don't know if you've had a look, Larry, at all?
No, not really. Since I haven't been able to take on dubs yet, I haven't focused on that stuff too hard yet. But I probably will be soon.
Yeah, I mean, I'll have a look at it, Rum. Obviously, if I can get something sorted, I'll sort it out.
I mean, the first thing that comes to mind about it is, make sure you take advantage of that range. It's got the 50% range boost, if I'm not mistaken. So, along with the 50% from nuke excels, right? That can get you to range 100 with, arbalest or railgun or something like that. So you definitely want to make sure you have at least something that gets you range 100. Right?
Yeah, agreed.
I mean, that's just the bare minimum, but I haven't thought much beyond that.
No, because, I mean, that range of 100 as well then will help you out against the Tiger Shadows as well, won't it? So.
Yep.
So yeah, definitely. 100 on the ballistics, definitely something that you need to look at. Obviously, don't forget countermeasures. Get like 150% accuracy on them.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's also might be a good idea for chuck a couple of those on, some gales or something like that. But I'll have a bit of a play as soon as I get some time, and then I'll post it up. Shadrapala says, "No more soft porn, please. Stay on subject." And the definition of subject: a person or thing that is being discussed, described, or dealt with. Please, gentlemen.
Oh dear. All right. Should I change the slide?
Nah, I've got it.
All right.
So, thanks everybody for coming out tonight. Thank you to my lovely pal. Thank you to everybody who's in chat. Hopefully we've gone through it and everybody's happy with what we've brought to the table. I'm not sure if there's going to be a community show this weekend, but I might do a stream on some of the other bits and pieces as well. Grumpy Robot's just come up with another question. Any word on limited component availability this raid at all? Not yet.
No word. Yep.
Yeah. And Raider said, those things do look nice and soft. So, yeah. Anyway, so don't forget to check out Larry's blog.
bpprof.blogspot.com. I haven't posted anything for a while, but like I said, I think maybe after this VXP week preview, I'll put something up.
Yeah. I'll try and get on a gamma build, see what I can come up with. Probably come up with a couple of different variations, and I'll post them to the BPC page.
I'll send you a copy of mine.
Yeah, and yeah, I think that's about it. We'll try and get on Friday, the Friday show. We'll post a definite tomorrow as to whether or not we'll be doing it or not, and then we'll go there. And Clay, go and have a look on the BPC page if you want to have a look at the video from the mega holes from last time. So, right,
Yep.
I think that's us. Thank you very much, guys, and we'll catch you later.
Thanks, everybody.
Take care.